Hi, welcome to another video. We will talk about Chainlink today, and we will not just look at Chainlink with respect to the US dollar or with respect to Ethereum, but we will actually go a bit further. We will look at how does Chainlink compare to other altcoins that are in a similar market cap. So how did Chainlink perform compared to Cardano? How did Chainlink perform compared to XRP? We will also look at relative performance to Stellar, and last but not least, VeChain. So if you enjoy this kind of content, please give this video a like so that the channel can grow and so that YouTube shows these videos to a broader audience. Thank you. So the long-term trend of Chainlink looks pretty stable and positive. We have this upwards trend, we have stable volume, and so we see since this trend has started, Chainlink has gained versus the US dollar around 2,300% or a 23x. Now, when the growth is so big, a potential drop also is significant. So if we just look at how much could Chainlink potentially drop, but still stay in the same kind of trend, we are looking at a potential drop of around 45% or so. Now, that doesn't mean that Chainlink has to drop that much, but just by looking at risk versus reward, I personally think it's less likely that Chainlink will break outside of this upward trend and accelerate in growth, since it has already risen so much and so quickly. I think a consolidation is quite likely. Now, if we look at Chainlink compared to Ethereum, we see that this consolidation has already happened. So we do see that Chainlink did gain against Ethereum in the early days, but now Ethereum is gaining ground again. Now the moves we see in those charts are pretty significant. If we just look at the bottom to the top of this chart, we're looking at a 15 to 16x. And these are not dollar movements, these are relative crypto movements. So there was a time where Chainlink could be bought for 1/16th of the Ethereum price compared to its top. And so this current negative momentum is significant. From the top to today, we've got a drop of 75% in relative valuation. Now the question is, if we draw a support line over here, we would have potentially a relatively good risk to reward, right? The potential drop is around 12%. The potential gain is around 1.7x. But I don't like these trades. I don't like to trade against momentum. Personally, I prefer those trades where we are currently in positive momentum and then we retrace. And at that point in time when we retraced, but the overall long term still looks positive, that's where I actually want to buy. Now the problem with this chart is Chainlink lost against Ethereum, but Ethereum currently is at a very strong run. Probably almost all altcoins, say besides those meme coins, they are all bleeding against Ethereum right now. I mean, just look at Ethereum. It just goes straight up and there's no end in sight. The price is above the most significant moving averages for Ethereum. And so even though we could see a potential drop here of 25% or so, the overall sentiment for Ethereum is very positive. And so comparing Chainlink with this incredibly bullish Ethereum right now is maybe not the wisest thing to do. And instead we should compare it to cryptocurrencies in a similar market cap range. So we can see relative performances. Is Chainlink currently cheap compared to other altcoins? Is there a way to maybe trade back and forth between the altcoins and make some additional profit? And so let's look at Cardano versus Link. So this is the Link price divided by the Cardano price. How many Cardanos do we need to buy one Link? The range of this chart is quite interesting. It's around 25x, and we are currently somewhat in the middle of this price range. Now note that this is a logarithmic chart, so the distance from here to here is a 3x, the distance from here to here is also a 3x. So we are not looking at absolute prices, but we are actually looking at how much percentage gain can you make when you trade in and out of those altcoins. And so personally, when I just look at this chart, I don't see a clear winner here. I don't see clear momentum for either side, either Cardano or Chainlink. The most noteworthy thing here is probably the volume development, because in the early days, Link seems to have traded less compared to Cardano, but now recently the volume increased a lot. And so the question is, what's the fundamental reason for this? I personally think this might be related to a lot of long-term holders in Cardano. A lot of people that bought Cardano are actually holding the cryptocurrency in a pool in order to get some interest on their investment. And so they're not actively trading in and out of Cardano that much. And so when the trading volume of Cardano goes down and the trading volume of Chainlink stays stable, the relative trading volume of Link to Cardano in comparison goes up. And so that's what we're seeing over here. We've got relatively low volume in the early days, say in April of 2019, and this has increased significantly recently. Now let's look at Chainlink versus XRP. Here we can see a more significant price rise of Chainlink versus XRP. So Chainlink was performing way better. In fact, bottom to top, we are talking around 70x. And so again, what we see here is that relative price movements between cryptos are significant. It's not just about putting your money into crypto and then it really doesn't matter what you buy. And all the cryptocurrencies are very strongly related anyways. That's kind of like the approach a lot of stock investors do. They buy a lot of stocks, they buy one portfolio and they diversify because the stocks, they are so highly correlated, they kind of return the same anyways. And you just want to diversify away the risk of bankruptcy of one single stock, of one single company. But when you look at crypto, you do see very significant performance differences between the different cryptocurrencies. And that's here just one example. I mean, 70x from one crypto to another, that's worth having a look at. Now, what we do see recently is that the price didn't increase compared to XRP that much anymore. In fact, we are now in the sidewards trading range. And this range is quote unquote only around 200%. So if you were to buy now and we would stay in this range, you could potentially lose 36% or you could potentially gain 110%. Still a pretty good risk reward, but why not wait until the risk reward is even better? So I feel like it makes more sense to buy at those inflection points. Basically buy close to those support lines, then have a stop loss that's relatively close to that support line, still far enough away to not exit the position in the middle of the day when there's a lot of price movements within the day, but still relatively close. And then your risk reward becomes way better. Say you buy over here, you could potentially lose 10, then you add some margin for your stop loss. You could maybe have a maximum of 20% loss, but then this is against a potential gain of 190%. Those are the kind of trades with a very good risk to reward that we are looking for. Now let's look at Link versus Stellar. We've got a very similar chart. In the early days, Link was appreciating and now it's in a side channel. So just compare those charts. This is Stellar, this is XRP. Stellar, XRP. And so there's really not much to say about this chart besides that the support lines and resistance lines seem to be stronger because they have more confirmations, right? Look at the support line. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 confirmations. And this resistance line, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 confirmations. And currently we are pretty much in the middle of this trading range. So at this very moment, it doesn't look too exciting. We still have room to fall. In fact, that's around 25% as well. Now the crypto where we see the most head-to-head performance, not a lot of outperformance at all, is Chainlink versus VeChain. And here again, we've got a sidewards trading range, potential loss 30%, potential gain 3x. So what's my overall take on this? I personally, when I look at all those charts, I don't see anywhere one single chart where Chainlink now is at the bottom. Is very close to a support line. I see potential drops of 30 to 40 to 50% everywhere. No matter where you look, Chainlink does have room to fall. There's room for potential losses everywhere. Not just in terms of US dollars, 40%, but also in terms of other cryptocurrencies. And so the way I see this is, I'd rather wait for those rare moments where we got really good risk versus rewards than taking a half good trade, potentially lose half my money, and then need another 100% just to gain back that money that I lost with this 50% drop. So in other words, I'm on the cautious side and try to take calculated risks. And right now, the potential reward does not justify the potential losses. So my final conclusion is for Chainlink, right now it's time to wait. Keep your eyes open, wait for the price to fall to around $30, then recheck valuations to other cryptocurrencies, and then might be a time to buy and get into Chainlink for a few weeks. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a like and feel free to subscribe as well. See you next time. Bye.